Hi, thanks for joining me again. This is Lokazi casting for you IMLosira versus oGsMC here in MLG Columbus lower bracket round 10. Looks like there was a pause that went down for just a minute as there's a giant spam of text. And this is game 3 of the series. Whoever wins this goes back up to the upper bracket for the championship game. They will have to defeat MMA in 2 series in a row, but they have a chance at taking first, and whoever wins this takes at least second. Whoever loses will take third. So we have IMLosira spawning in the bottom right hand position here on Dream Altar, and we have oGsMC spawning in the top right hand position as the blue Protoss. And he is going to be doing his Forge Fast Expand, as we've seen him do on every single one of the maps where he is able to reasonably take his expansion. He has Forge Fast Expanded, as it lends itself to some pretty good harassment. We actually saw him pylon up this gap. It was on this side actually. He pyloned from here to here and then built cannons behind it versus Idra for an easy 4-minute win. So will he be able to pull that off again? He is scouting the wrong direction to be able to do so, but as I say that, he pulls out another probe and sends it across the map, and he should be able to get there in time to wall it up if he wants to. Whether or not he has the minerals to do so, I'm not sure. Forge dropping down now. And he is going to wander into the Zerg player's base. Kind of scout it. Oh, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Okay. And then he's going to head back out. Now, in that game versus Idra, he was up a game in the series. So it's kind of like risk versus reward. Even if he had lost that, he would still be in it. Here, if he does that and he loses it, he could be very crippled. And against a Zerg player who has shown an affinity for Zerglings every single game, could be in a really rough position, actually. Now, Losira is popping out a queen and metabolic boost, and he will have Zerglings, so I think the pyloning of this wall is now mute, as he's not going to be able to drop 3, keep them up, and put cannons behind it in time. No. He went ahead and expanded, sensing that timing. Can't really do it if they go pool first. It's not nearly as effective and way too risky, so he went ahead and dropped all of his defensive structures, a gateway to help protect this cannon that's behind this pylon and forge, his nexus for his fast expand, which he's got to be comfortable with that. You put up your expansion before the Zerg player, and now he's just running the lings around, buying time for the cannon to come up. Had those lings actually gotten up here and run by, they could have actually done a little bit of damage in the mineral line, and at the very least been pretty annoying. Now it is important to say that on this map, as opposed to Shakura's Plateau, where we've seen MC do this expansion, there is a gap that Zerglings can run through, especially speed Zerglings. You can just run up and run straight by into the main, which I've done many times, but it requires a decent amount of forces to be able to survive running by and deal significant damage inside the base, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Losira is going to go ahead and play it safer and just straight drone behind this. Cybernetics Core finishing up. Stargate, standard stuff out of MC. He loves that Stargate right when his expansion is done. Actually blocking his own probe out, it's just going to wander around for a while, I guess. Now I do not think that this cannon actually, I don't know if it reaches the edge of this pylon slash cybernetics core. But Losira's not going for a massive attack anyway, he's just going to tickle and see what's going on. He can sit close enough to the wall, scout everything out, see that the cybernetics core is spinning, the gateway is producing something, getting reasonable information that he needs. In the meantime, he has snuck an overlord behind the base, which he will be able to throw in and sacrifice at a later point in time in order to gain even more information about the build order. Though if you reverse MC at this point, I think you should go ahead and assume that he's building a Stargate and there's going to be a Void Ray, and you need to prepare for that every time you see him fast expand. And he just likes to take air dominance off of this, like picking up a Phoenix, oh, no, 2 Void Rays, picking up more and more air units as he goes along. He's now going to head out to the middle of the field and see what type of Overlord hunting he can do. He's actually going to pass pretty close to one, but not see it. Now he's going to clear the Zerglings out from being able to see the middle, and very interesting choice to go in this direction because he's almost 100% certain to be spotted. So it's like he wants to intimidate the Zerg and say, hey, produce more queens. You need to produce more queens if you want to live from this. And a Hydralisk then actually going down for MLG off the bat here, which I like. It's a really good play, especially on this map, just because when Protoss forward fast expand here, you can really punish this wall with Hydralisk. You can just build a creep highway and then just sit right here and eat the entire wall down. So it can really work out well. I have actually casted a few replays like that. Let's see, Spinishua versus XIXO and Vilehawk versus XIXO both come to mind, where Hydralisks have been used against the Protoss player who's fast expanded using this build on this map. So we'll have to see. In both those cases, that was against Blinkstalkers and not Phoenix Void Ray, but, you know, a little bit harder to build your creep highway, I guess, if there are Phoenixes flying by picking them off. And the Void Rays are rolling up into the natural of MLG. They're going to deny a gas, not the worst thing for them to be able to do in the world, as he knows there's going to be Hydralisks to try and deal with this, and those Hydralisks just eating through that Void Ray. At 12 damage a shot? Yeah, 12 damage a shot. It's just ridiculous. And they attack so fast, too. More Phoenixes coming down. Massive amount of gateways here in the background. And a robotics facility going down. Nidus going up. Hydra's arriving at the front door saying, knock knock, I'm taking your cybernetics core now. Queen here as well, that's kind of interesting. I guess it's going to drop in creep tumors for Hydralisk movement speed. Really good play here by MLG. I like it. He's going to have to face a few sentries and, what, 2, 3 Void Rays? And I guess those Phoenix are a little bit of an intimidating factor. Another Nidus Worm going up in the back here, and it was all a trick to put the forces at the front, cannons and defense. Now Zerglings, Hydralisks, and this Queen are back here. Amazing play out of MLG, very interesting to watch. Now these Hydras are going to get a bunch of probes in their face, and they're actually going to waste their DPS on that, which is unfortunate, because there are Void Rays that are going to charge up in the background, but MLG is just dominating the number of probes on the field here. The worker count went from nearly even to now MC is at 24. MLG reinforcing with more Hydras. They are going to get picked up though, I think. He's focusing down the correct Void Ray, and it does fall. There are now 3 Void Rays versus, no, 2 Void Rays. And this is going to get cleaned up, it looks like. I don't think he can hold this. No. Queen, you need to go back through. No. Well, this Queen's going to get picked off. Meanwhile, back at the front, it's pretty secure. There are 3 cannons here. And these Hydras are tickling this warp gate here at the front. But they are going to get taken out pretty easily. Lifted up. Oh, more Hydras coming out, actually, forcing MC back. More Zerglings. Zergling Hydra, of course, the composition you want. As long as there's no Colossus, Zergling Hydra is king. Gateway goes down. I think this pylon and maybe another pylon, no, the forge, are not long for this world. Now, these Hydralisks, you might be saying, this is kind of weird. What's the point of just taking down a forge for no reason and taking extra damage? And that's because it opens up the front here, which allows the Zerglings to be more effective and get more surrounds. More Hydras popping out here for MLG. He's taking a third behind this, so he's by no means all in. Zergling is getting hit by some pot shots there. Some stalkers coming out on the field. It's a pretty precarious situation. MC can have force fields down that can trap these Hydras in, but the creep has been spread. There's a ton of mobility for these Hydras on this creep. They move so much faster. They gain literally 50% more speed on creep. Taking down another pylon. And looks like maybe a cannon or two. One cannon. one of the Phoenixes. Force field's pushing it back. Losira does not want to walk forward and try and sneak his army through there. And another Nidus Worm going up from Losira here, forcing his way in with Hydras and Zerglings. He just jumps out the other side, just goes in and bypasses all of that. It was just a front to get this Nexus in, or this Nidus Worm in. Another gateway going down. And this Immortal is low on HP, or low on shields, which means it's going to die pretty much instantly. Yeah, there it goes. And now Losira can just work on all of these warp gates almost at his discretion. And I don't think there's anything MC can do to stop this. There are too many Hydras out. Yeah, they are. This is GG out of MC here. So Losira, yeah, there it is. Losira takes game number 3, which puts him back up into the upper bracket. MC taking 3rd for MLG Columbus, losing this game to Losira. By no means a dishonor, as Losira is very, very good at his Protoss versus Zerg. And we'll have to see and hope that his Protoss or his Zerg versus Terran is just as good, as he is facing MMA in the championship coming up in the games I'm casting next. So stay tuned for that. This is Lokazi casting for you. Go ahead and subscribe to me down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Justin TV, go ahead and hit the follow button down below. Be a big help. As well as check out lokazi.blogspot.com, which has all of these replays up in a very convenient format. If you want to link it to your friends, things like that, they can just watch straight through MLG right there in order, not being ridiculous. So you don't have to browse through and like look at the bracket and then like figure out who was playing at what time, so that way you can watch the games in order and get the full effect of watching the tournament. But thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes for MMA versus Losira for the championship of MLG Columbus 2011.